Well, what is up, beautiful people YouTube? My name is Jerutastic, and welcome back to another episode of Cities Skylines, part 17. This is part B of the downtown build. So, part 1, you saw us do the highways, the major arteries for the downtown area, and now we're going to start laying out the downtown blocks. When I had in mind to lay out the downtown blocks, I didn't necessarily have any specific, structure plan. I didn't want to add a lot of one-ways out, one-ways in, to kind of try to limit the traffic and all that stuff. There is something, however, that I might see as an issue with this build. Since we mentioned last episode, a lot of it is coming uphill. I don't know how that's going to look like with skyscrapers. I don't know how well it's going to do with things. We can't flatten out the whole area, obviously. So what I was thinking is we can definitely make it the official downtown area, if you will, and down the road, if we need to move on, then we'll move on to somewhere else. But gonna let you watch this a little bit. I'm adding another roundabout here, as you see. The reason for that being, also, you might see a few roundabouts here, but I know it's gonna be a lot of high density commercial, high density residential area, so I want to make sure we're good and we don't get in any trouble traffic wise. So go ahead and watch it. I'll come back, see you guys, comment as we go along. So you'll see a few of these here where I'm not necessarily making another intersection. I'm making kind of overpass like you saw in that boulevard down there. The reason I did that, for example, or for the reason being, like I've been stating, I want to minimize the traffic as much as possible. I know it's going to might be hard. You'll see in future episodes. I'm an episode ahead of this one because I already recorded episode 18. Obviously working on editing the episode. But when I work on episode 18, even though the area hasn't really been fully filled, there's still some traffic already. So you see there, right there is another example how it's up and down with the terrain. We can fix terrain here and there, but honestly I might leave it like it is. And down the road we might just create downtown somewhere else. Don't forget, I am from Minnesota, where we have the Twin Cities. We technically have two downtowns. That's why it's called the Twin Cities, Minneapolis and St. Paul. Right now what I'm doing is adding the trains. Now the trains job, as I mentioned in the last episode, they're going to be responsible for connecting people from outside downtown to inside downtown. They're not going to be to move around downtown. That's what the metro stations are going to be for. The train stations are strictly to connect residential zone 1, 2, 3, 4, commercial 1, commercial 2, industrial area to downtown. They're not per se for to bounce around downtown. I like them and I don't like them. I like them for the fact that they can get a lot of people to the place fast, but they do take a lot of space, and you got to kind of go under the tunnel. And one thing we have to I had to keep in mind when I'm doing a lot of underground railway tracks for this one is when you do the metro roads or the metro rails, you got to be kind of careful of the height of them, dig deeper, blah blah blah. So it can cause somewhat of a headache for us down the road, but for right now they are needed. So here you go. Originally what I wanted to do was, you'll see that, but kind of have the railway go up. Down the road I might change it. A lot of things might change. I'm kind of just doing a blueprint of it, and we might just be able to change it down the road. The reason for that is because I don't know how I feel about just railways. And another thing you got to consider is this railway station, or not this train station, is going to be very close to the residential area. Because if you remember, the left side, this side we're on, is going to be residential. The right side is going to be commercial. So that's another thing we got to keep in mind there. So you'll see a lot of changing around and all that stuff the more we go. So now it's time to start laying out the pipes. Laying down a pipe, something, anyways, guys, time to start laying on the pipes here, the water and all this stuff. I wanted to kind of make it its own water pipes anyways. As you see, the water availability is kind of in the middle, so I don't want to overwhelm the system that we already have in place, so I might as well do it. One thing I didn't realize about this downtown area was it did take more money than I thought it did, and thankfully we started with a lot of money. We have about $2 million here, but I think when it was all said and done, I was left with $1.5 million. I think we started at $2.4 million, so about almost $1 million to lay this out. So it's pretty great, and obviously the more services we add, the more weekly expenses we get, so we got to keep that in mind. So here we are starting to lay out the first of the many residential areas here. Obviously all going to be high density residential, and that's it. Look, you get the idea. So see how the train stations are close to the apartments. I try to leave a little bit by the train station, and I said, you know what, we don't want apartments there. We'll just add like police stations, clinics, schools. This way they're not really affected by the noise pollution as much as residential areas anyways. So obviously it goes without saying that roundabout up there down the road is going to have to be changed. And here you go, another example of how I made like a kind of an overpass or a bridge over the intersection, because I don't want it to be connected everywhere. I don't want too many intersections. I want traffic to be flow smoothly. One thing I don't like about these boulevards is they are wider than they need to be, obviously, and that causes more problems for us down the road. So now it's time to lay out the metro or the train stations for the commercial area. They're going to be two separate lines. They're going to connect at the same when they get to the central station, but they're going to be two separate lines and two separate routes. And the reason for that being, obviously, if people want to go shop, they can take that. And if people live there, they can take that train. So that's what it is. Again, the ultimate goal to move people within the downtown area is going to be the metro stations, not the train station. Train stations for outside people, but here we are kind of adding them. And as you see, we're going underground, so this is where I was like, this might be a problem down the road once we want to do metro stations, but we'll see. We'll get to that bridge, or we'll cross that bridge once we get to it. So we added a couple of blocks of offices, now a couple of blocks of regular high density commercial. And there we go. As you saw what we saw there, originally I wanted to go one track split commercial, residential, but that was going to be too much traffic and not one track. So that's why I did what I did and kind of demolished that and said we'll make its own track for it. goes without saying, we're doing districts now. Nothing's gonna be fancy about it. Downtown commercial and downtown residential. And I think I put a few things like big business benefactor for the commercial and a few things for the residential. We obviously didn't put no high-rise band. We want high rises. We want as much high rise as we can get. But this is a big downtown area. I feel like I said, that as far as things, few things gonna be changed here and there. But I feel like the layout, especially you got a highway to the left, a highway that goes through the middle. You know, you got the train station, you're gonna have the metro station. I feel like traffic wise we should be in a good spot, good place here. But we're gonna let this video wrap up. While it wraps up, I want to thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. This is part, obviously this whole series, if you're new to it, it's not all speed build, but I felt like you know, laying out the downtown area was gonna be probably more entertaining as a speed build than just hearing me blabber on and on and on, and kind of watch it with music, kind of kick back, relax. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, help me get to 12,500 subscribers. That'd be really, really cool. I'll see you guys in the next one. My name is Jerutastic, and I am out.